What's up, my friends? How y'all doing? Alright, I'm here. Sorry about that. Alright, how is everyone doing? What's going on? What's up, Bearded? How's it going? What's up, Mikey? Jilly, good to see you. What's up, Barb? Brave Dave, welcome in. Vacker, good to see you. Aaron, what's up, man? I hope your business stuff's going well. JB, what's up, man? Welcome back, Max. Bull Runner, good to see you. JB, good to see you, man. Julia, what's up? Alien Girl, welcome to the stream. Mortimer, what's going on? Ondo Poncho, eh? Alright, what's up, Smashy? Good to see you, man. Okay, so let's talk about it. Bitcoin. So, things are here. You guys like the music? Here, we can run it. We can run it on lower volume here. Just a little background noise for you. There you go. All right. So, Bitcoin is a little concerning, right? Now, you guys know the story. We've been talking about it for a long time, right? So, understanding that we're talking about everything in context and knowing that the weekly trend, right? The weekly is still bullish, right? Right? And we do have our golden pocket here. We have our decision demand where we'd expect to get a bounce, right? We have our 103 level. You guys are prepared, right? Now, interestingly, this 103 decision block here would also be like a retest of this falling channel. Today, with it closing like this, it is a big warning sign, right? So we are aware of that. We understand that we had this weekly trend line that we've been watching. We understand that that weekly trend line broke. We understand that we were in this parallel channel on the daily. We were trying to bounce from the bottom of it there. Had a nice little bull trap there. They got me, man. I got stopped out of both my swing trades. We were in like this megaphone pattern here. We have, what is that trade? Oh, that was just a scalp. So we've been in this megaphone pattern here. It looks like we're losing it. Now, earlier today, or when was that? That was, yeah, earlier today, what we did was we took the low and then we came up and retested this parallel channel. I'm like yelling at you guys because I got this the music blasting in my ears. Sorry, hopefully that's better. Yeah, so we came up, we retested this this parallel channel bearishly. I was signaling caution for you guys in the Discord here because of this. And just because structure-wise, what happened, right, we closed a 4-hour candle back bearish again, breaking the structure, right, that we were talking about, that we were excited that broke bullishly. Well, it came right back and broke bearishly, right? Yeah, we're going to get to that right now, Bearded. So the answer is yes, kind of, right? So the daily has broken bearish. Now, this is still our weekly strong low. So you can put this on your chart and you can understand that this is our line in the sand, right? This is our weekly strong low. So as long as we hold above 98K, you know, everyone says we have seasonality, which is true, right? And we do have September and October coming up, or October and November coming up, right? Generally really good for Bitcoin. But we look at the charts, right? And we react to them and we're aware of stuff. So understanding that, right? Understanding that you guys, if you're not prepared for these levels, right, that's not necessarily the conversation that we're going to focus on today, right, but that, I think it was Thursday's stream of last week. Go watch the first 15 minutes, right? We talk about all these levels. We talk about how to be prepared for all these different bounce levels, like the one this morning, the one at the golden pocket here, this decision demand, the one at 105, the one at 103, right? But let's talk about it. So the daily structure is breaking bearish. All right, here we go. I'm glad that we get to do this stream at daily close because it would take a miracle right now for the daily close to SFP here. I guess not a miracle, right? I mean, it is Bitcoin. What is that? We got 25 minutes to go up 1.6%. Definitely doable, but unlikely. So why is this important? Well, this is important because generally when we have daily break of structures, right, like we had one here, generally it leads to bearish corrections, right? Now, I believe this one was confluent with a weekly, weekly break of structure, but the daily confirmed first, right? But we can go back to like last cycle, right? So if we look at last cycle, we had our run up here, kept daily structure the whole time. We broke daily structure bearish here. What happened after we broke the daily structure bearish, right? Well, golden pocket retrace down. Then we came back up, but that was quite the nasty correction, right? So definitely something to be aware of. So we've lost weekly momentum. Let's look at our bigger weekly momentum here. I haven't looked at this yet, so. We still have room on this. We still have room on this. Alright, so guys, at minimum right now, to get back bullish, since we can't really have an SFP right now, technically 109, the level that I told you guys for like the range deviation of this bigger range, technically 109 is holding, but we have to, that's a daily play, right? Like if tomorrow we get a big green candle and we close back up here, maybe we break like some 4-hour structure, we can talk about that play. But for right now, you guys need to understand, you should not be taking a long right now and expecting to hit a home run. When can that change? At minimum, 4-hour structure. At minimum, you want to see 4-hour structure break bullish. We've taken this low, and now we're going to close below this low. Right? So, understand that. Now, we are hitting some nice levels in here, right? And if structure gives us the clue, we will get bullish again. Now, another thing to understand is that even if this is going to be like maybe a midterm local top, right? Maybe like we're going to come down to 96K or something. There will be a golden bull run in this daily downtrend, right? So if the daily is going to put in a low and put in a lower high to then come break that low, this move here, there will be a lot of meat on this for longs. All right, you'll be able to long this, ride this up. Right? Even in the bear market, golden bull runs still exist in there. They pretty much go straight up, right? They're bear rallies. And then, of course, you'll be able to short it back down here. All right, so there's still money to be made, but just understanding that it's time for caution. The warning signs are definitely there. Okay. We'll just quickly go over, so like what are the levels. I just want to check one more thing here. All right, so what are the levels that we could be looking at? Yeah, that's why Bearded, ever since this daily SFP up here, we've been saying, hey, innocent until, or sorry, guilty until proven innocent. We got faked out here, this little bull trap here. Now we're just waiting for this to happen again, right? Like we took our shot here. They pulled the rug on us, right? It happens. And now we're just looking for that again. But yes, you can get short, but just make sure you're getting short at a place where you have good risk to reward, right? So like if you're scalping on the 15-minute, well, shorts are pretty easy with the EMA strat as well. Like if we throw, I haven't really looked at them, but let's go to the 15-minute here. Let's throw on our EMAs. So you had an entry there. You had an entry there. Yeah, like you can watch the 5-minute EMAs, 15-minute EMAs. Get entries there. Let's check out. Nice. Yeah, we're in a strong trending move down right now. Notice how we're just riding the reversal band on the 1 hour. So since we're in a downtrend, the downtrend hits are gonna hit harder. We haven't even had one since up here on the 1 hour. Overbought. Let's look at the daily. Now, interestingly, so we talk about this breaker block here that we're interested in. That's also where the daily 200 EMA is. Now, definitely keep in mind, guys, I don't want to get y'all too bearish around the golden pocket, right? Awarish. Be awarish, not bearish, right? So yes, we can bounce from here, right? The 109K area. Yes, we can bounce from 105. This area is really nice just for a risk to reward purpose, because generally, structurally, when you're trading, right, you understand we talk about this a lot. We talk about this in the trading course. We talk about this on the lives. So when you're using multiple time frames of structure analysis, right, you have your larger time frame, which right now we can talk about being the weekly, right? And the weekly is in an uptrend, right? But right now, if we're like swing trading, we have the daily in a downtrend, and we have the 4-hour in a downtrend. Let's keep it consistent here. 4-hour in a downtrend, right? The best entry into this weekly uptrend is finding an entry where the 4-hour flips bullish, because then that resulting flip can lead to the daily flipping bullish, and that resulting flip can lead to the weekly taking out the week high, which is up here. Right? So understanding that, if we're able to get an entry way down here on a 4-hour structure flip at like 103, then we're getting in, and it's a 4-hour structure flip, right? So we'll have some sort of local structure to put our stop loss behind, but we're ultimately targeting the week high up here, which is great because the risk to reward is much higher. Now, if you do a set it and forget it trade, you would have your stop down here. It's still like a 3-to-1, blah, blah, blah. But using local structure, we can get it better. And we can actually target this week high. And then we can get in on this weekly trend. We can leave our runner. And let's say Bitcoin makes that move in October to like 150K, right? Well, then that trade just gets insane, right? So that's nice, right? Obviously, the further that we come down, the lower level we can long from. And we can short this thing down, because most people are still extremely bullish, even though the daily is breaking structure. So it's something to keep in mind. So 103 is a very attractive level for me. Generally, if we do form a breaker block here, it's totally normal for us to come back and revisit that. So you'd want to set your alerts like 103 for that. Now let's take a look at what's happening locally as we tap our decision demand here. So let's go on like the 1-hour time frame. Did this pull the low here? It did pull the low. So we have yeah, so we have a structure. We don't even have any structure in here because we don't have two. Yeah, so we form a high. Form this. Yeah, we don't form a high after this. And this is in the weeds. I would consider this a 1-hour high. It's in the weeds. Let's go to the 15-minute. Yeah, this is at least a 15-minute high, right? Let's grab our downtrending momentum. Man, I would be very careful with this, guys. I would be very careful with this. The floor can fall out very quickly with this. I'm trying to, I want to tell you guys like where the hope is, right? So this structure is way up here. So in terms of like a break of structure on the 15-minute, really, I like whenever they set small structures here, because it leaves room for the sweep and the take, right? And you guys should start to see that in your mind, right? Like whenever they put a structural high close and then take the low, that creates high risk to reward on the side against that trade, right? If that structure is to break. So we can make a plan here. So let's find an area within this area that may be, and we may, so there's like a demand area that never got mitigated inside here, right? Because this never came back to mitigate this. Range initiated, didn't mitigate, continued. Where does that leave us? Oh, right where we are right now. So we know that we're at an area of interest. That this is just how you would plan a. This would be how you like plan along, right? So then you say, hey, do we have any actionable structure here? No, not even on the 5 minute. See, they don't even give you any structure on the 5 minute. So then we say, what could we plan for? Yeah, no. No. On the 15 minute, right, we could look for them to take this low. And then come up and break the high. It's only like a 2 to 1. So these would be like, yeah, I would just be careful on longs, but at minimum, what I want to see is a 15-minute structure break if you're taking like a scalp long to the upside. But if you're looking to take like a swing long, like I said, just wait for confirmation. Otherwise, like make sure you're aggressively taking profit, like similar to, you could bottom fish a little bit back here and try to catch those winning trades, right? Structure breaks you get long. Just make sure you're aggressively taking profit, especially as we approach like previous areas of mitigation. Like when we came up here, I told you guys in the Discord, what was it? It was only 1 hour. Yeah, like when we came up here, I told you guys, hey, Bitcoin's hitting resistance, take profit if you're long from down here. And then, yeah, they swept all of our liquidity on the pullback, but we did, like when we approach these previous areas of mitigation, you do want to make sure that you're paying yourself because it is very likely that the trend will continue. So where's some unmitigated areas? We have unmitigated supply concern here. This whole general area, right? You could say it's like here. We have unmitigated supply concern here. We have unmitigated range here. Unmitigated range here. Unmitigated range here. So they're leaving a bunch of resistance behind this time, right? So we talk about how in these moves down where it's like come down, mitigate, 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 right? We talk about in moves like that, it sets up for like a short squeeze of the liquidity, right? Because they mitigate everything on the way down. It's easier to see on the 1 hour, right? Drop, mitigate, squeeze. But here, they're not really, okay, so they did mitigate that. They're not mitigating everything on the way down, right? Like this area hasn't been mitigated yet. So should we come up to like 112, 250, you could look for a short to come back down to the lows. Let's see, the daily's about to close. Yeah, daily structure is being broken. Now, when that 4 hour structure breaks or that 1 hour structure breaks, or you guys who are really bottom fishing, right, we're talking about on the long side here, like the 15-minute structure breaks and you're letting it run up and then you see like it lead to a 4 hour break of structure, we still have to operate on the assumption that this is going to be a golden bull run and that at that golden pocket you should be aggressively exiting the position. In the same sense that at the golden pocket, if you see like a 1 hour bearish structure break leaving the golden pocket, that's your signal to short, right? Because right now we're back to guilty until proven innocent, right? Because we had the 6 hour, the 4 hour breaking back bullish. We have a daily bearish break of structure. We trade what we see, right? Like I agree with you guys. I would love to see Bitcoin go to 150K, and I still think it can. Yeah, as long as 98K holds, I still think it can. But I'm also aware that it's possible that maybe we don't get rate cuts in September, and maybe this is like a local top, right? We'll have to wait and see. Show me the chart, and I'll show you the news, right? Okay, that's a lot of ranting here. So we've gone over. So just so everyone has them, right? We've gone over the levels. Basically, right here is level 1, right? Basically, right where we are right now. 108K is like ish. I would kind of wrap that into the same level we're at right now. Like this whole decision block here is the first level where I would say we could form some sort of structure, break it, and then up we go. Sorry, just go in order. The other level is like 105K. Wait, I don't remember myself. The first level's here, the next level's at 108, and the next level's at 103. Yeah, we went over that in the other video. Make sure you have your alerts set. Now, the good thing about maybe coming to 103 is we could also develop some daily structure. Like let's say we put in 2 green days after this, right? And then we rug down to the 103 level, right? And then we come up, we break that structure. Now our daily's bullish again off to the moon, right? It would be nice to put in, since we're breaking the daily structure here, that means that this is now our daily high, which is really difficult for like a daily structural long, right? So the same way that when we're in a downtrend on medium-term time frames, we're looking for it to establish structure on the way down, break it so that we can enter off that. Now we need Bitcoin to do that on the daily, right? Otherwise, if it comes back up, we would expect it to come up to the golden pocket for a return back down to then maybe go up, right? So something to keep in mind. So, how to short this thing is just to take previous areas of supply and look at the risk to reward and see if the risk to reward is good enough, right? So like, here's an example in a downtrend, right? You see like a 3-minute break of structure after this rejection here, probably get short right here on this wick, right? Taking it back to the lows. Oh, it's a 4-to-1, right? That's a good short. You also know you're targeting the daily low sweep, which happened here, right? Turns out to be a 10-to-1. That's how you trade a downtrend. If you have trouble trading a downtrend, just flip your chart upside down and long, right? Then it looks the same, right? Range, initiate, mitigate, continuation. A lot of times they'll break structure, send it back the other way. So yeah, so if we're getting into the weeds a little bit, Alien, so technically, if we close a daily candle below 108.6651, that's yeah, 103 is looking pretty probable after that, because that would mean that we have a confirmed deviation to the downside. But even if we don't, right, I mean, a daily break of structure, go back test it, right? That's why it was so important that we held the daily here, right? Because daily structure breaks, a lot of people sell spot. Like, it can trigger a cascade of liquidations down, right? So it's just definitely something to be aware of. But if you want to get into the weeds, yeah, like 108.665 is generally, because like this could look different like in a couple days, right? Maybe we close back up in here, flip some 4-hour structure, and then it's like, okay, whew, that was a little scary there. Okay, let's see if we can go up, right? But for now, I just want you guys to understand that this is guilty until proven innocent. Like this does not look good. This is our favorite pattern on the bearish side, right? So if we invert this on the daily, if the daily looked like this, if the daily looked like this, I would be telling you guys to long the hell out of this. I would be telling everyone to get long. Like if the daily looked like this, that would be awesome. But it doesn't, right? It looks like this upside down. So just something to be very aware of, right? You don't have to be bearish. 98K is the line in the sand. 98K is the line in the hand. In the sand. But this does not look good. It does not look good. Okay. All right, any other questions on Bitcoin? If not, you guys can throw some alts in the chat. We'll get them done. And we'll go from there. I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back. All right. ETH. Yeah, we got to do ETH first, of course. How is old ETH doing? Actually, let's just remove the local stuff. All-time high short, right? Yesterday on the stream, I think we were like right here, maybe. We were talking about what would have to happen for this to flip bearish, right? Notice how, because there was no structure in here, what did we know? We knew that we had to pull this high here before we break this low to get bearish to go down, right? I mean, this is the same dang thing we were looking at Bitcoin, right? Like, this is on a smaller time frame, though, right? You guys see it. SFP, break of structure, right? We call it the JPOW pattern because it prints to the upside and the downside. So, that's what happened, right? So, we sweep the all-time high and we're dumping. Now, a couple weeks ago, I was talking about what normally happens when an asset sweeps the all-time high, right? We just didn't quite get there, right? I was expecting this over here, but we didn't quite get there, and now we're getting that now. Man, they gave you 4 hour to short too? Man, they gave you 4 hour up here. That's crazy. Look at this nasty looking candle. Man, I really need to trade ETH. ETH has been a money maker lately. Throw a 1 in the chat if you're making a lot of money trading ETH recently. Right back to demand. So you're under 4 hour structure on Ethereum now. You guys see it, right? 2 bearish candles. Sweep the high. Break the low. JPOW on the 4 hour. Sheesh. Not a lot of ones on people trading ETH. I get it. I don't trade ETH either. But yeah, it's been moving. It's been moving. All right. Are you guys starting to see what I mean though? By looking at that we had no 1 hour structure here, we knew that in order for this chart to flip bearish, we have to take the high again. Because otherwise your structural low's down here, right? Like you're not gonna come all the way down here to have a massive stop loss to correct, right? They're gonna bring it up. You're gonna break structure. You're gonna get your retest, and then you short it down, right? Put a 1 in the chat if that's making sense. If you're starting to see structural elements in the chart, have a plan for them before they happen. Hopefully, I see some ones in there for that. Market structure, once I learned it, was really the game changer, man. Never looked at charts the same. Heck yeah. Awesome, guys. Love to see it. I just come up here and repeat the same things every day, so I'm glad that they're sinking in for you guys. Heck yeah. Love to see it. Love to see it. Oh, side note. I think we are really close to... Let's see if we can do the giveaway today. Are we at 400? Oh, we're at 392. All right, well, when you guys get it to 400, we're gonna do another giveaway. So hopefully we'll be doing one this week. And that's crazy, guys. The rate of growth here is awesome. I appreciate you guys. So let's talk about ETH. So again, ETH is guilty until proven innocent. See, this is the thing with altcoins. It gets really nasty, right? Because it's like they flip your daily bearish here, and then they flip it right bullish again. This is kind of in the weeds, though. You could argue the daily lows down here because technically this candle didn't push lower than that one. It depends on what rules you use for market structure, but I would consider this a break, and then I would consider this like a shakeout. But just so, sorry, I got distracted what I was saying. So generally, whenever assets reach their all-time high, and this is what we were planning for on ETH, right? Generally, you're going to get like a 20 to 30% pullback. Generally, what happens is people sell 50% of their spot bag here. You get like a pullback, right? And then off you go. Where are you likely to pull back to? This is the same plan that we had earlier, right? We didn't come to our key area of interest, which was around like 37.24. We didn't even come to our first area of interest, which was around like 4,000. So if you guys were watching the streams before, right, we had our areas of interest. 1, 2, 3, very similar to Bitcoin, right? We had our mitigation point at 39.41. We had our decision demand down here. These alerts should already be set, guys. We had our decision demand down here at like 37.36, and then you had your daily order block at 35.37. Sweep the all-time high, come down 25-30%, right? It's very normal stuff. There is nothing broken on Ethereum if we come down here to go higher. It's just like one of these gross, like, it would turn into a megaphone, right? It's like a gross megaphone pattern. Now, that being said, we have some stuff to talk about on ETH. So, it did break structure bullishly, right? I guess we can keep that all-time high line on just for context. Okay. That's a weekly SFP. It's a weekly SFP come down. Let's go back to the daily. Man, they don't even have any weekly structure in here. Yeah, your weekly lows here. Let's see what, just for. Whew, yeah, I mean on your weekly you could have ETH come all the way back to 3,200. I still like the levels that I just gave y'all, but this is just something to be aware of, right? ETH's weekly structure, like this, there being no bearish weekly structure here might have been on purpose, right? But the weekly low on ETH is bet down at 2K, so it's got a lot of room to pull back. Just be aware, right? But locally, we did break structure on the daily, right? After breaking structure bearishly, we came back up and broke structure bullishly. Although none of these is necessarily significant yet. Oh yeah, perfect range deviation short. Look at that. Yeah, I mean, I lean bearish on this just because of how far we've come up on the weekly in the what's left for a correction. But I will give you guys a trade. So there is a bullish trade here. Since the daily broke bullish here, ooh, there's not 2 candles in a row here. In the weeds. There is a, I don't know if I would technically call that a break of structure. But we can give the trade anyway. So there is a daily breaker block, technically, that we're bouncing from here. Or definitely a 4-hour breaker block, right? You have a 4-hour breaker block here that we're bouncing from. So if structure allows, ooh, we put in a nice low here. Okay, so the reason that we can be prepared for anything, right? And since there's bullish structure on this, I'd much rather give you a trade on this than Bitcoin in terms of the long side. So we're at our golden pocket 786 area here. So we have some confluences. We're at this kind of spider line. We're at this previous like demand. You guys know the drill, right? Range, initiate, mitigate, continue. But what do we wait for? What do we wait for, guys? We wait for the proof of the move, right? We wait for structural confirmation to get long. Now, what does that look like? Well, they've given us a nice little possible setup here, right? They've given us a low, a high. Now they just need to sweep that low, come back up and break that high. And then based on what the stop loss looks like, first stop would be mitigating this area here. Yeah, that's like a 2-to-1 to there, and then coming back up, it's like a 6. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that you take this trade, right? But you would wait for structure to define it for you, right? Any bullish trade that you're taking right now, you're understanding that you're trying to catch the reversal into the like weekly trend, or in the case of Ethereum, into the daily trend. But you're also understanding that you're under bearish 4-hour structure. So you're going to be aggressively taking profit, and then you can leave a small runner and be like, yeah, I told you so, play, I caught the bottom, whatever, right? But you want to make sure that you're only doing that when structure gives you a clue. Because right now, this is the definition of a falling knife. It's getting exponentially stronger to the downside. You want to talk about sweeping liquidity? You just swept so much liquidity up here. So much liquidity. Right? And they gave you, I can't believe they gave you 4-hour structure to short up here. That's gnarly. Did anyone catch this short? This is the textbook market structure short. Here, we're going to do an exercise here. We're going to explain how you would have taken this short. Yeah, they didn't. I was like, no way, they gave you 15 up there. They gave you 12 up there. All right, so let's walk through the different ways that we could have taken this, right? So you flip your 12. So if you're using like higher time frame confirmations, like the 12 or 15 minute, you flip your 12 minute bullish here. You come back up to retest supply. We know that we're looking for a rejection from here, right? So they give you this nice structure pattern here. All right, so you break your structure bullishly here, break your structure bullishly here. You take that low, retest, rejection down. So if you're using structure for an entry, you would have gotten short here. And you're chilling. You're enjoying your time, right? Now, alternatively, you could have gotten short here if you're just set it and forget it trader. 4-hour broke, I'm going to take the 4-hour trade. You have to have some much lower targets, right, if you're doing the set it and forget it 4-hour trade. Like that 3,700 level that we're looking at, then that's like a 3-to-1, right? But do you guys understand how by zooming in for a structural entry, like even just that 15 minute, we were able to get that same risk to reward, which is really money, right? Like you just adjust your position size, right? But if you're able to get, we were able to get a 3-to-1 just off this short move by using structure and zooming in, right? Now, let's talk about how we could have taken this trade probably on the 3-minute. It's the same trade. It's the same trade. Break structure. Yeah. It's the exact same on the 3-minute. They didn't really give you... They actually faked you out on the 3-minute. They broke you here. Yeah. Another key why higher time frames might be a little bit better. But, I mean, really, do you care if they got you here if you just re-entered here and took the short? Not really, right? Yeah, but that's how we could have gotten the short there. They gave you a nice 4-hour move. Nice, Julia. I'm glad you caught that. Heck yeah. Yeah, ETH had to go higher to create the 1 hour low structure. That's exactly right. Well, even 4 hour, Barb, right? Like they gave you 4 hour structure. It's nice. Okay. So I think I skipped the coins here. SEI, CRO. Yeah. Yeah, J-Rock. Let's look at CRO. My guess is everything's looking kind of bearish. Let's take a look. So let's start with our dailies. So here was the short here. Break structure. Bearish supply. Not bad. Market structure in downtrends, you guys will notice if you guys start to see start to have a structure, Brian. Oh yeah, Mortimer. See you later, man. Tomorrow the stream's gonna be at 4 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. Central Time, so Europeans should get a better time. What's up, TF? Good to see you, man. You were over leveraged, Joanne. Yeah, so you want to be careful on shorts, right? You definitely want to have a plan and a stop loss, but that short money comes fast. Okay. So it's interesting here because we have kind of like this distribution model, right? The real level to be concerned if you're long on this would be there's hope. There's hope for CRO, but the real level of concern, like the 4 hour is not bearish on CRO like it is on some other coins. So as long as you hold 14,922, you're still under bullish market structure on CRO. For now, right? This obviously changes if maybe. So, did we tap this? Let's see. No, we didn't. So it's possible that we like come up, run the high one more time, and then reject and pull the low from there. But this would be your line in the sand for Crow, which means it's probably getting like a golden pocket bounce right now. Yeah. Golden pocket bounce right now, so you can use lower time frame structure. Did they give you anything? It's setting up for like what we're looking at on some other coins, right? I bet you they front ran this just a little bit. Yeah, they did. Yeah, it's setting up for like take this low, come back up, break, get long here, target here. Now understand, guys, I'm giving longs, but that's because I always should give you guys what I see, right? But keep in mind everything we said on Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin's going to have like a big dump, it's going to pull the altcoins down with it. That being said, we trade what we see, and this is under 4 hour bullish market structure. And the short was here. The short's not necessarily down here, so we look for a scalp long here, right? So that's what I see locally on CRO. If you're talking about like a bag you're holding, you're good unless you break 4 hour, but basically 15 cents on the 4 hour. If you're looking for more of a local trade, I like a short from here or here, and then I like a long and understanding you should take profit here, and then ultimately here. That's what I see on Crow. That's what I see on Crow. Yeah, Bearded, if you see coins, like if Bitcoin's making a golden bull run, right, and makes a big move up, and then altcoins like make a breakout, but they can't get above the range deviation level, yeah, I'd be looking for a short. And what I would use for my confirmations on that would be like if Bitcoin breaks structure on like the 15-minute, and you're looking at a short on Bitcoin, and these altcoins can't get above their range deviation highs, yeah, that would be like a nice short. Understanding everything in context. Or just using general market structure, right? If they put in a range deviation, they close below, right? You can take that trade, leave a little room. Or if they then, like, if they hit the range deviation, break 15, give you a stop loss level, you can take that short down. That's the good thing about being a market structure trader, right? Is that you're able to understand, you're able to make money no matter what the hell the market's doing, right? You just trade what you see. So yeah, this is what I see on CRO. So let's, we already did ETH. SUI, SEI, yeah. Oof, man. I mean, it could be worse. This looks like a retest. It's interesting because this doesn't necessarily, I mean, do you have anchor trigger the downside, money flow going into the red? But you're underneath your 200 right now. Did you SFP that? Let's see. You did. You put in a daily SFP. Let's zoom in structure-wise. Short. Did you break 4 hour out of here? You break 4 hour bullish here. Yeah, you break it bullish here. So you're technically under 4 hour bullish market structure, even though internally you're under bearish. You just SFP'd the low internally though. Let's zoom in. Oof. I think you likely get a bounce here for a lower high. I think that probably comes in. That's kind of been mitigated. Likely goes to one of these levels, 30 cents or 29.18. Let's see if we have any local structure to confirm that. Much like other coins, it's setting. Ooh, this looks ugly though. This looks ugly on the 12. Man. It's just writing in the deviation band. Yeah, I would let things develop a little bit. This is dangerous. I'll say if you come up to one of these levels, Jillian, if you come up to like 29.18 and you break structure there, you can get short targeting here. Or if you come up, break structure here, you can get short targeting here. Alternatively, I would say 1 hour needs to break bullishly. which you never pulled this low, so they're not really giving you anything because this is internal. I would say at minimum, give me show you want to be bullish SCI while everything else looks bearish. Give me like something like this. Stop loss here, run the highs. I want to see 1 hour. Otherwise, I see a rejection here or here. That's what I see on SCI. All right, let's look at C. We're still waiting on this. I have a feeling this trade will be vindicated. We're still waiting to come to our level. $3.08. It's still where I like it. Okay, I'm actually going to leave this chart alone. I don't really want to touch that one. Where's the next spider line, guys? Where's the next spider line on this chart? $3.08. Woo! Timber. Okay. Of course, what changes our minds? Let's look at our daily. I think Sui's been under daily bearish structure for a minute. Or 12-hour at least. We've been talking about this. We've been talking about this on Sui for a while, right? We broke our 12-hour bearish here. We just broke it bearish again. Break it bullish, break it bearish. Reject from decision block, although they broke you bullish again. Yeah, you close the 12-hour below here, you're breaking 12-hour bearishly again. You're probably coming. So you close the 12-hour below 330. Here's the trade. You close the 12-hour below there. You come back up to test here. I would take like a 15-minute break out of here. Like a 15-minute break out of here, targeting 308. That's only a 2-to-1. Use structure in here to get a better IR. But something like this, pull the low, golden bull run, rejection down, 308. Oh, they did give you structure in here. Let's see. Did they give you 15? They didn't give you 15, they gave you 12. They did give you 12. Sui looks like it could be forming a little bottom here. Two to one. It's 2-to-1 trade there. First place you'll take profit is here. You can come to the liquidity here. Makes it like a 4-to-1. Okay, out of all the coins that we looked at, Sui's the first one to have bullish structure. You got bullish structure on Sui. It could come to 343. Be very careful at 360. Be very, very careful at 360 for rejection. All right, guys. But there's a little bit of hope in there. Alternatively, if you come up to, what is it, to 340, and you get some sort of bearish structure, you can look to take it down. That's what I see on Sui. Soul, yeah. Oof. Man, Soul's holding up better than others. Man, they gave you 4-hour on Soul at the top too. Man, let's just pull up our so we didn't quite hit the 223 target that we were looking for. We did hit the 209. Look at these resistance levels, man. Easy money. Easy money on Soul. Okay. But, yeah, we made this short and long call, but that doesn't, the hindsight doesn't really help us, right? Let's look at it right now. So, we had trouble at this high. We're coming back down. We're at, so you guys will start to notice as we do look at altcoins and Bitcoins together, you kind of get a story for like the whole market. And often altcoins will tell you that story before Bitcoin does. Well, during this season at least, right? Now, what did it give you up here at the top, right? So it gave you good old JPOW on the 4 hour. Man, I really wish I did my stream later in the day yesterday. I just had some stuff to do, guys. Wasn't at the charts. Yeah, so you had your SFP break of structure on the 4 hour. Straight down we go. We're hitting our first key areas of interest. We are still bullish. This is kind of an SFP, so generally you would expect it to come test here. But doesn't necessarily have to. Guys, we're at one of my support levels right now. We just bounced off. We're in demand. Any sort of break of structure here, I like. For how long did they give it to us? They gave you 15-minute. Yeah, they gave you 15-minute. I don't know if they broke it yet. That's in the weeds. That looks like a double top. What is that? 188.52. Yeah, they broke it. So they gave you a bullish JPOW here. Understand the context, right? But, I mean, structurally, what's the RR? Yeah, I mean, that's a 3-to-1 right now. It's 3-to-1 on Sol. Back up to where? Unmitigated resistance. Again, if Bitcoin just pulls the rug, right, then these are likely going to pull the rug too. If you come up here and you get some sort of bearish structure. But I would wait for like 1 hour bear break or something up here. I mean, you could do 15-minute, but just understand you're fighting a bullish 4 hour. Like, you have a 4 hour bullish trend. I like this scalp, and then I like this short. Ultimately, the better short is like up here at like 201. But you break this down trending momentum. If Bitcoin can get some legs behind it, I could see a rotation back up to like 200-ish. You're at a support right now. You're at a really strong support level. So just something to keep in mind. All right, we're gonna check chill guy, and then oof. All right, let's look at our daily. Yeah, I mean, Sol still looks good. Daily SFP, 3 drives at the top. Oof, interesting. Yeah, you gotta hold 175. That's my line in the sand. You gotta hold 175. Yeah, you gotta hold 175. If you lose at 175, Sol does not look so good anymore. Reversal zone, reversal zone. Doji and Gulf. Ugh. Okay. Let's check chill guy. Oh, you're getting the sweep. You're getting the sweep. So you just SFP'd into our untapped box. Oof. They haven't given you any structure yet. At the bare minimum, you're waiting for... Let's see. This looks... I would let this settle. This needs to settle. You've got a big key area of resistance here. Above you here. You've got support in here. This is all still internal. I mean, you could come, yeah, you could come down to like, you could come down to 34 cents. I like this SFP. I would just make it prove itself. So you want at least 15. If they give you the same setup that we're looking at on some other coins, right? If they sweep this, come back up and give you 15, then you can look for the rotation up to like TP1, TP2, TP3. I know you're generally talking about spot, and the spot level is still the same. You can't come below here. This still looks like mitigation until it comes below here on spot. I would let it resolve itself. But if you're looking to buy, I would wait for at least 15 minutes to give you 15 minutes. I like this sweep in here. I'm not gonna lie. You start closing more aggressively down here, it doesn't look as good, but this sweep's not bad. What's up, Zaid? Good to see you, man. Yeah, there's not much I can give you on this chart right now. Jenna, you got resistance here. You got resistance here. Just let some structure develop. I know if you're just looking at it, just let it prove that it wants to go up. Structurally, though, there's no real concerns on Chill Guy until down here. It's a long ways away, but that's the structure area of key interest. This just looks like a golden pocket 786 bounce, right? That's what I see on Chill Guy. Notice, oh, look at that. The bottom of the regression trend on the daily is at this key SR flip here as well. This would be great. This would be great down here. Kind of point of control area too. And then you can just draw like downtrending momentum. Try to break these. That's what I see on Chill Guy. I like, you'll see altcoins often do this where they sweep the low. This is why we were planning for this. Sweep this low, break structure, and then go up. Let it prove itself, though, right? You don't necessarily have to get in on the SFP. Give it like 15-minute or 1 hour structure. Let it prove itself. All right, guys. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe. Ring the bell. We're so close to 400 subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you guys did not catch the beginning of the stream, please, please, please go back and watch the beginning of the stream. That's where all the Bitcoin TA is. That is the major overarching idea here. If you saw me plotting longs on altcoins, understand that that is in context with what Bitcoin is going to do. Okay? So make sure you go back and watch that. Make sure you join the free learning Discord pinned to the top of the chat. Like the video if you haven't liked it yet. Come hang out with us in Discord. We talk about price action all day long. There's no ego, just a bunch of killer traders in there. If you have any Market Cipher questions, any questions in general, post them in the Discord. We'll get back with you. It's an absolute pleasure growing this community with you guys. Trade safe. Much love. Wave Cipher out. Have a good one, guys.